Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Tuesday as we begin to edge closer towards the Premier League returning to action, but there is plenty of international football still to go. Plenty of interest in the England game tonight as well. Of course, they are playing Ivory Coast, so we have Arsenal interest in both teams. Nicolas Pepe for Ivory Coast and Emil Smith-Rowe and Ben White for Arsenal. Wouldn't be at all surprised to see Smith-Rowe start this one, given he didn't in the last game. So we could have Smith-Rowe and Nicolas Pepe will definitely start, you would think, for Ivory Coast. Not sure about Ben White yet. We'll wait and see. And there's an interest elsewhere as well, as everyone pretty much plays their second international fixture of the break. Talking about Nicolas Pepe, who, like I said, will be in action at Wembley later tonight. I wanted to kind of start this video by discussing his future, really. He's been talking ahead of this England game, actually, and he was asked about his Arsenal future, and he had some interesting comments to say. And I think Pepe is going to be really interesting when we come to this summer of exactly what will Arsenal do with him. 2 years left on his contract, of course. At the end of this season, £72 million Arsenal paid to bring him in from Lille, and it's safe to say he's never quite been able to live up to that price tag. I'm not saying he's been dreadful by any means at Arsenal. In his goals tally, goal involvements tally is not really to be criticised. I think he's done pretty well, but inconsistency has absolutely plagued his time at Arsenal, and exactly what happens with him this summer certainly remains to be seen. This is what he had to say when he was asked about his future. He said, "I'm focused on how well we do until the end of the season and the club's target, which is getting into the Champions League. Then we will see what happens. The most important thing is to enjoy your football. That is something I am able to do when I get the chance to play. It is happening at international level and a bit less so at club level. It's frustrating not to play. No player enjoys not playing, but I have to respect the coach's decision. When a team is winning, it's hard for a coach to make changes. Mikel has explained that to me, and I know I have to work hard in training to get more playing time. The coach knows what I think and how hard I am working. It's also about communication. Sometimes it is not easy to communicate with the language barrier. It has been a tough season for me." Interesting that about the language barrier. I haven't really... I've spoken to Pepe once since he's been at Arsenal, and that was through a translator. So I'm not sure what his English is like now, but he's been there 3 years, so I'd expect it's not too bad. And I'm pretty sure Mikel speaks French as well, and so I'm not sure about the whole language barrier thing. But interesting comments I thought there, and it's going to be intriguing what happens with Nicolas Pepe, what Arsenal decide to do, because 2 years left on his contract. You're getting to the point now where you've either got to give him a new deal or you've got to basically cut your losses and sell, because you don't want to go to another big name player with just a year left on their contract. Obviously, it's not going to be the easiest if Arsenal do decide to sell Nicolas Pepe. It's not going to be easiest to get rid of him because of his high wages, and you'd say Pepe is probably the last sort of hangover from the pre-Arteta Edu era. Obviously, he was brought in. Raul Signé, he was head of football operations at that time when that deal was done. Who's Farmy obviously played a big part in getting that deal done as well. So it was kind of the last sort of hangover from that era, really, and those sort of transfers that haven't quite worked out for Arsenal. And if Arsenal do sell or do decide to try and sell, you're going to have to, £72 million, they're certainly not going to get that money back for Nicolas Pepe. I think we know that. You'd probably, looking at this 30 million, I think you'd probably take if you're Arsenal and that got offered to you. And I think from my mind at the moment, and this is just a hunch at the moment, no firm decision has been taken when it comes to Nicolas Pepe, not that I know about anyway. For me, I think it's you probably look to sell. I don't think at this stage you give Nicolas Pepe a new contract. I'm not sure what that would achieve really for him, for Arsenal. He's 26 now. I'm not sure he fits into Mikel Arteta's way of thinking. I think that's pretty clear by the lack of game time. And I think in terms of the work ethic and tracking back and helping out, he had a nightmare when he came on against Aston Villa, having to do that. Nearly he gave away the free kick at the end. And Arteta and the coaching staff were clearly not happy with what Pepe was doing when he came on in that game. And he's a forward. He's very much an attacking forward. It's not his game really to defend. But everyone in the modern era, so if you want to be a success at Arsenal under Mikel Arteta, you're going to have to. That's you're going to have to sort of build that into your game, and it's not really happening with Pepe at the moment. I think that's why he's not getting too much game time. He can make a difference in the final third. That is not up to debate. We saw it recently against Wolves. We've seen it with how many goals he's scored since he's been at Arsenal. He's a good finisher. He can make a difference in that final third. He's got quality, but I'm just not sure it fits in. Everything fits in. His game fits in with the way Mikel Arteta sees Arsenal moving forward. So right now, as it stands, as a hunch, I think Arsenal will look to try and get something done with Pepe in the summer in terms of moving him on. Whether they manage it, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see on that. You'd think there are takers for Pepe because, like I said, he's a quality player. He can be a quality player. He can produce, he can score goals, he can set goals up, and everyone wants that. And he can do it in the Premier League because he's shown he can do it in the Premier League as well. And if you can do it here, you must be an appealing option all across Europe. It's going to be intriguing. I know lots of you like Nicolas Pepe, and I want to know what you guys think about it. What do you think of Pepe's comments? And if you're going to make a decision, if Arsenal are going to make a decision on him in the future, in the summer, what should Arsenal do? Do you give Pepe a new contract and hope it works out? I hope he can become more consistent and Arteta can kind of adapt him to his way of thinking? Or do you think, it's not going to work, let's try and get as much money as we can, potentially around 30 million, I don't know what you think Pepe's worth, and look to sell now? For me, that's probably the better option, but interested as always to see what you guys have to say. So let me know, Nicolas Pepe, stay or go? Let me know in the comments below. Other interesting comments emerging overnight from the Brazil national team coach Tite. Now, I didn't talk about this in my videos earlier this week that I've recorded since these comments came out, because personally I just didn't really want to touch them because they were clearly rubbish. And lots of stuff comes. You see lots of stuff, lots of speculation, lots of news come out, and you just think, nah, that's not happening. That's just not true. And I don't like to talk about stuff that is just clearly rubbish. And this was, I don't know if you'd seen it, the speculation, basically, a report came out from Brazil saying that Arsenal were in talks with Tite about becoming the next manager in 2023, basically at the end of Arteta's contract, which was just clearly rubbish. It just wasn't true. And Arsenal absolutely happy with Mikel Arteta. Everyone you speak to at the club delighted with how things are going with Mikel Arteta, and everyone's bought into his way of thinking. Everyone's bought into the plan from top to bottom. The players, the directors, the owners, Arteta himself. It's all working well together at the moment. Arsenal are absolutely not considering the prospects of Mikel Arteta leaving and bringing in another coach. Contract talks will happen very soon with Mikel Arteta, and I fully expect him to sign a new contract. I'd be very surprised if that's not the case. And Arsenal certainly won't be looking to run down his current contract and replace him with someone else in 2023. So it was just a nothing story. So which is why I didn't talk about it. But now Tite has got on the record, and they're really interesting quotes, and they're good quotes. Tite was speaking ahead of Brazil's next game, obviously Gabriel Martinelli over at the moment with Tite and the Brazil squad. He says, "I apologise to Arsenal and to Arteta. That information did not come from us, and there is absolutely nothing in it. At a time of so much fake news, information that is not true makes me sad, and I hope that this is all corrected. My feeling is very sad, and I get sad because information like this is passed to the public that is a lie. I tell people who feel identified with me to be calm because Tite has a personal attitude that values his professional activity and knows of the responsibility with the Brazilian national team." So very firm comments there from Tite on that speculation linking him with the Arsenal job. I mean, I didn't need to tell you guys this anyway, because in terms of the original story, because I'm sure that none of you believed it when you saw it anyway. All I can say on the thing is, whoever I talk to at Arsenal, everyone connected to the club, everyone, even agents who not even directly involved with the club, everyone in football knows how happy Arsenal are with Mikel Arteta, and I would fully expect a new contract to be at the forefront of their minds when this season comes to an end, potentially before, and they will look to continue with this project, whatever you want to call it, and Arteta will very much remain as Arsenal manager. So I thought they were great comments from TT, to be honest, just coming out being really strong about it, and just telling everyone that not true at all. And so it's another great example of things you hear that you sort of look at and think, well, that's surprising that you got to take it with a pinch of salt and kind of look at where the source is coming from. And absolutely, I know I work in the industry, but absolutely don't want to believe everything that you read, because there's lots of it you can tell is not true, and this was one that just had red flags all over it when it came to Arteta, Tite, and the Arsenal job. So yeah, that's the latest when it comes to that story. A couple of interesting points I wanted to go over before I end this video. First of all, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, a player I've spoken about many times in this video, a player that Arsenal absolutely do admire. Not saying they're going to sign him, but they do admire Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and it wouldn't at all surprise me if they go for him in the summer. We'll have to wait and see, because there's lots of strikers that they're looking at the moment. They've got to work out exactly who fits the bill, and then they'll make their moves when the season comes to an end. But Dominic Calvert-Lewin is definitely on the list. We all know that. And his agent has been speaking, because there's been speculation, rumours, few sort of reports, mainly, to be honest, on social media rather than actual news reports, saying that Calvert-Lewin has already agreed a deal with Arsenal, and that's going to happen. Whatever if Everton stay up, if they go down, whatever happens, Calvert-Lewin is going to go to Arsenal. Now, his agent has responded to that. He says Dominic has not agreed any deal with any club. He is currently working very hard in training and is fully focused on finishing the season as strongly as he can with Everton. So that's come from Dominic Calvert-Lewin's agent. And yeah, I'm sure it's true. I mean, I've certainly not heard that anything's been agreed with Arsenal when it comes to him. He's a player that is on the list, as well as plenty of other players across Europe at the moment. Arsenal, when it comes to signing players, they'll have number 1 target, number 2 target, number 3 target. I have no idea who number 1 target is. But Calvert-Lewin is certainly a player who I wouldn't be at all surprised is someone that they potentially target in the summer when they do start making their moves and bringing players in. The time is right for Calvert-Lewin to leave Everton. Yes, it's been a bad season for him. He's had injury problems. He's not scored much. Everton have been a shambles. But I still think Calvert-Lewin is a very good player. And I think if Arsenal had made a move to sign him last summer, no one would have really complained, given the season he'd just come off with Everton and for England. And I still think he ticks a lot of the boxes when it comes to Arsenal. And the new signings they are looking at making, his age is just the fact that he's English as well. Arsenal are clearly targeting a lot of young English players, and it just feels like one they might go for. So it's one to keep an eye on. But for now, Calvert-Lewin's agent denying those rumours that he has agreed any deal with Arsenal or any other club at this stage. Just finally, before I go, Aaron Ramsdale's been speaking in 442 magazine. Well worth picking up a copy of 442 this month if you're out and about and you're an Arsenal fan, because there's a bit of an Arsenal special. There's interviews, I think, with Ramsdale, Smith Rowe, Martinelli. So plenty to keep you interested. If you're walking around the streets and fancy a magazine to read, then head into your nearest shop and pick one up. And in one of the interviews he's done with 442, Ramsdale was talking about the Arsenal captaincy and the potential of who's going to be the Arsenal captain next season. He said, we've got a lot of strong characters and a lot of people who I think would be good captains. Just to be told you're in the leadership role, I'd relish it, whatever. You never turn down a captaincy, and I think I'd excel if I was given the armband, but that's down to the boss. Aaron Ramsdale, Arsenal captain. What do you guys think? I have to admit, I looked at those comments. I thought, no, I'm not sure about this one, Aaron. And look, I think Ramsdale's been great. I think his character's brilliant. I think he's been fantastic behind the scenes in the dressing room, but not Arsenal captain for me. Certainly not yet in his second season. I don't really go for that one. For me, I think there's definitely contenders that are ahead of Aaron Ramsdale in that regard. I still think Kieran Tierney for me is the natural option when it comes to Arsenal captaincy. He's clearly in pole position as well, given the fact he is the one taking the armband every time Alexander Lacazette goes off. There are other options. It wouldn't surprise me if Martin Odegaard is right at the top of those options as well when Mikel Arteta does make his decision at the end of the season. Gabriel's an option as well. Ben White, even, you'd think, is an option. But Kieran Tierney just feels like the most likely one to me, providing, as we said in yesterday's video, that Real Madrid don't come in with £100 million offer or something, which I don't think they will. But yeah, Aaron Ramsdale, Arsenal captain, I thought those were interesting comments. It kind of speaks volumes of Ramsdale's confidence in his character as well. So fair play to him for that, but I'm not sure on this one. Aaron, I'm not sure you're the guy who'll be taking the armband for next season. Let me know, though, who do you think should be Arsenal captain? Anything you agree with, disagree with in this video that you've heard, let me know by leaving a comment below. Always, as I say, interested to see what you guys have to say. Thank you very much for watching. Apologies, this video is a little bit later than it normally is, but it's been a busy day today. So enjoy the game tonight. If you're watching England, Ivory Coast, or any of the other international fixtures, enjoy the game, stay safe, and I'll speak to you very, very soon.